So I've opened the windows, still dark all day. But, you can see the darkness behind me on this lovely day in the snow globe. Now it's just rainy. I think it's flooded all over. I mean, we're not getting information, but like I think I said already. My mom said on the news it was saying that it was flooded here. So, I saw that coming. I mean, the water was still up. It hadn't even gone down before we got hit with all this artificial snow. And this artificial snow is just, it's gross anyways. And I still can't tell if my phone is fading out or if my eyes are. My eyes are just really, really being fucked. And I don't know, it's just because I'm trying so hard to see crocheting. So luckily I'm almost done. I'm so excited. Oh, I can't wait. And I'm going to videotape it. But, something, there's a bunch of things I was thinking about. But one of the things I was thinking about was, the bus comes. Yeah, bus, they'll get here. Yesterday, the mail couldn't get here. They sent me a thing that, they couldn't deliver. It was trash bags, like so much stuff, like, stuff like that. Like, I'm not going to go drive well, it ends up being like an hour and a half to go get trash bags. So, Amazon can bring them when they go by. And, but they couldn't get those things delivered yesterday, but school bus can seem to make it. And, there's another thing too. I got notified from the school in Spokane that they are closing events because everybody's so sick. And my daughter had said everybody's really, really sick. And, they're sick in her house and they're quarantining away from each other, all sorts of stuff. And, we're going into that time that we were warned about where there was going to be a lot of people dying. And I keep talking about the toxins are off the chart. I know that's what is making Estella so much sicker. And I can just feel the effects in my body. It really has helped to get off the city water, though. Definitely. I advise anybody, get off the city water, but you got to really be careful over bottled water because it's just as processed as the city water. I mean, remember, when you're drinking the city water, they're taking sewage and turning it into water. So it's a process, and they take all the water out of it. So anyways, that has made me feel so much better. But one of the things is, as this bus comes by, and the neighbors put these little kids on there, and then they walk in from school and hand them their device, and they just zombie out and go to school to be indoctrinated, come home to, encounter a device. And what we're doing to the youth, like I'm witnessing it, and I'm not judging these people because it's the way that we have been taught to be in this world. And one thing I'll just throw in here real quick is I was watching what's her name? I think her name is Riz. She has a show. She's like a red pill person. She talks a lot about government. She looks at the news and stuff. Oh, and I guess that Kirsten W. died. I don't know what happened, but she was talking about it. I didn't really watch her very much because she just was super loud and she laughed a lot. She was informative. She had a lot of information, but her personality kind of irked me, so I didn't really watch her that much. But I knew she gave a lot of good information. And she was young. I think she was like 56 or something, and she died. So I don't know if she got the sickness. I doubt she did any boozing. So, yeah, I don't know what killed her. But, there's other people in this movement who have also died. And, stay out of the hospitals, that's for sure. That's for sure. Let me get back on track what I was going to say. So in North Carolina, in Charleston, I think she said, you can look it up, but Microsoft is starting their first smart city. And this is also where I say it seems that a lot of people just don't get everything. They can be focused on this and this and that, but they just don't get the whole picture. Because she was like, well, I'm in Pittsburgh, and that's where they should be doing it. So if they want to stop crime, they should be up here because we got criminals and we could use all of these cameras and all this stuff. I was like, oh, lordy. No, we don't want your smart cities, Microsoft. We don't want anything to do with you and your high-tech AI technology. You can cram it up your freaking hard drive, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, she was talking about that and that they want it there, and Microsoft is putting like a shit ton of money. But they're going full speed ahead with their agenda. They just want the slaves to be more slave-like. So, let's put some nanotech in there, and let's get some towers. Like when I drive into town, the amount of towers, it's like, oh my God, people. They just want to turn you on and drop you when you drive. Oh my gosh, this is insane. So, anyways, just seeing how these people are just so deep in it, and just living this life, which I think is very valuable for those of us who are awake to witness, because, we had to see it. I mean, it was different to come out of it, and it's a lot for some people to even admit that they were that way. That's hard for a lot of people to even admit that they were zombies at one point. We were all zombies at one point. But yeah, to watch how this goes down. And when I go on some channel, I can't. And one thing I don't like to go in and watch some people because they're so judgy and so divisive. And my whole family is, except for my mom, but she still is, she can know that some of this stuff is corrupt, but she still believes some of it, which I've talked about a lot of times. But, all my family is this way. So when I hear people being really judgy, I just feel like, you don't know these people. I know these people. These were kind of people who I used to hang out with even, because I was part of that crowd. This is a crowd who gets together and wants to play board games on a Saturday night and have fun and, groups and, do fun dinner parties, and they like to read for fun, read a book for fun. Like, these people are not stupid people. They are smart people. They're just misdirected, and we've all been misdirected, and it's our own inside that allows us to be misdirected, and those are the things that they have to heal. And there's a lot of people way beyond just my family, way beyond just my neighbors. It's millions of people across this planet. Their soul is going through this process because the stuff that they're going to purge out when this all happens is so significant. It's huge. I mean, the amount of ego work that is going to have to be done from these people is, it's going to be phenomenal. And will, really rock our planet, It won't just be about seeing the truth. It's going to be about this transformation for people that is going to energetically really rock this planet and, transport us into this newer kind of existence. Hopefully you can see, because I sure can't see. So maybe it's just my eyes. I don't know if it's the colors. I've got the lights on, but it looks super, super dark. My eyes are there's so much more. My eyes have just gotten so much worse. And my one daughter sent me a thing about stuff to do with the eyes. I keep trying to eat carrots and stuff. I keep trying to be mindful of doing the natural things for my eyes. I don't, but I think that a lot of these toxins are going to attack places that are weak. And, they fucked up my brain and my eyes in the hospital. So now, their toxins and stuff are attacking the weak points in my body. Speaking of that, so with Stella, right? I've got her on Sumatra, so, moving off of the CBD and going on to the RSO, and like this one, like I said, it looks like black tar heroin. I'm like, oh my God, what am I giving her? It doesn't look so when it's clear looking. But when it looks all black and it's super sticky and it's hard to get out of the syringe, because it comes in a syringe, then it's like, oh my gosh, this seems like it would be like, I don't know, are they scraping it out of somebody's bong? I don't know what the hell this is. But it's strong. It's condensed of the stuff that is in THC or CBD or whatever's in the plant that is helps you if you're sick. It's the most condensed, and it's what people take who have cancer. So I'm giving her a lot. It seems like to me, like when I was getting off of all those medications, I did the tiniest bit, like tiny amount. And it was like an acid trip to me. I was like, what? And that's when I went and it was like it was like I was sucked into a record. It was really weird. Like I felt my consciousness go and it was like spinning and everything was spinning. And I knew you could come out in any reality. And I think that's kind of like what portals are like. But in the vision or the experience, whatever it was, that's when they took me out in space and they showed me the cycles and the feeling and how it feels in the consciousness of Christ consciousness, like in the conscious feeling of what it feels like. You feel the pain of people. That's what it felt like to me. Like I could feel it all over my body. And I could hear people. And you could hear when they were happy and you could hear when they were sad. It was really, really weird. But so anyways, it was really an experience when I did it. So when I keep giving her more, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, is she just tripping out? Like, what's going on here? But anyways, they told me that she processes it a lot faster, a lot more different, that the way that the dogs metabolize it. So yeah, I mean, I'm shocked how much she can take. But she does that when she'll whine and cry, and then I'll give her some, and then she'll just go to sleep, and she can relax for a little while, and but I know a lot of this has to do with the toxins and stuff. And, she had weak points in her. And whatever this is they're putting in our environment, in our little petri dish, is really attacks your body. And like my daughter was so, oh my gosh, she got so sick here. But anyways, I will go in and I will start, like when she's asleep, I'll go in and I'll start trying to do like Reiki or something. And if you don't know what Reiki is, like take your hands between your two hands and start forming a ball and just keep forming this ball. And then you'll feel it. You'll start feeling the ball. And then you can start moving it from hand to hand. You could even hand it off to other people. And so you will feel the energy form and you will feel you are able to manipulate it and move it with your hands. And so Reiki is doing that. So you don't ever touch the area because it's all above it. You're using your hands and you're pulling the energy out. So whatever is causing the pain or whatever, you can pull it out. Like we carry pain things inside of our body from past lives, because most of the lives I think that a lot of people have lived, they have not completed the process. It didn't completely heal. They just went in and had the experience and they didn't heal. That's why there's so much healing going on right now, because this is a wrapping up. It's a closing of cycles. So a lot of stuff that people didn't deal with in other lives, then they are having to deal with things now. And that's why a lot of people who you have issues with and you are having a hard time dealing with them, this is stuff you guys have been doing for life after life after life. So, the more that you can figure out how to work it out, and sometimes your working out may just be releasing it. Like, what do you need to fix? What do you need to prove? What do you need to release? What do you need to forgive? Those are the things that, and always remember, no matter who you think is the bad guy in your life, you've been the bad guy. You're the bad guy to some people in this life, but you definitely played the bad guy for a lot of people. So, that's just how it works. We play the good guy and the bad guy, and we do it for each other all the time. And you're doing it in one life for different people. You're playing different roles. You're not the same for everybody. You're different people for everybody. And it's all contracted in. You decided all this stuff. All of these things that you're here to fix that seem so astronomical and hard, and these people just piss you off and stuff, these are all choices you made for yourself to come in and fix this stuff. So when you are going at some of the things you're dealing with, just think of it on the level of like, oh my God, if I've been dealing with this for 1,000 years, I'm fixing this now. I'm not dealing with this anymore, because, it's putting everything into balance for yourself. And that is part of the ascension, that's what propels you, elevates you, brings you up another level. So, anyways, when I will be doing it to Stella, I'll start doing Reiki or something, and she'll wake up and she'll look back and she'll try and like move my hand out of the way. Like she'll get up and try and move my hand. And that's just moving energy in her hips. And you can feel the heat. Like if you start doing it, you'll feel heat start coming. You'll feel the areas start heating up. And that could be what she's feeling, is just the heat of it. So I try and do the Reiki on her. I've done Reiki on other people, but you can do it. Anybody can do it. I mean, you can look up about it. But it's just learning about energy and how to move energy, and learning about how we keep energy trapped and stuff. Like some of the places where you have injury in your body are places where you got killed in a past life. So say, you got a bum leg, or, you got a foot that's all painful or whatever all the time. It could be very well in a past life you got hit by a car, and, you broke your leg and it never healed, and then you died. And so you carry that wound still. And so it's all about processing a lot of the stuff that we have from life after life after life. But, I think it's super important for us all to get in this mindset of like, it isn't, these people who are asleep are not holding up this process. There's so many people angry at him, thinking like that this process would go different if these people would just hurry up and wake up. It's going to go different. It's going to go very different when they wake up. But it's about the process. It's about having to complete the dominoes. They all have to go and touch each other to make this whole thing work. It's what creates the symphony. We can't just take parts out. So we have to go through this process, and it's not these people holding it up. These people are taking on a lot. They're going to be taking on a lot, and their energy is going to propel us when they have the realization of what is not real. It's going to propel us, and probably will be what causes the solar flash, what causes everything to go into motion, because we're all connected. Everything is connected, and this is all like a natural kind of motion that is happening energetically. And there was some more stuff. I have so many things. There was another thing. I don't know if I can remember all this stuff. I've already been talking 17 minutes. I can come back in a minute. I'll try and remember what I was going to say, so I'm not just sitting here like... because there was some other things. I don't remember if it was about that show, which I started watching it again, but it's a lot for your mind to absorb. He gives a lot of information, a lot of symbolism, and he gives a lot in that show. I thought it was really good, and I started again, but it was like, oh, my brain is just kind of tired, so I haven't watched it again yet. But it has a lot of good stuff. And the same with initiation. We still don't know about the healing show, but Gaia's got tons and tons of information that, should be more mainstream for people. It should be the information that is out there for people, because this is all about, our soul and our soul journey. But see, that is what they want to keep hidden from people, because they can control you when you don't know what you are. When you know what you are, then they can't control you so much. It was something too about, I remember what it was. So I had seen this commercial yesterday, and it was for a movie. I've seen a few of these lately. One of them is a little boy, the true stories. One is a little boy who died, and then he went to what he called heaven, and he met some people who were in his family who had already died that he hadn't met yet. Went home and started talking about him, and I haven't seen the movie. I think it's new on Flix or something. And then it had another one where this guy, and this one's Hayden Christensen. The other one has people too, but this one, he is, I think he kind of was living like a, selfish life or whatever. I'm not sure. It seemed kind of like it. And he was going in the car, got in a car wreck, and then died for a while, and then came back, but he had kind of given up. He didn't want to try and heal. He was having a hard time in the hospital, and that's where it shows some of the stuff on the commercial. And that story is what everything is all about. It's about having to lose everything and face yourself, and that spiritual kind of growth. For me, I didn't have to die, but I had already come out of my body before. I already knew I wasn't my body. So when I had my, injury that changed my life and, put me on a different road, then I didn't have to die. That wasn't part of mine, but everybody has their own thing. And one of the things too is, so in one of the parts of this movie, it shows that all these people come in to pray over him. And so the thing is, to me, this is my opinion about prayer, is when I was young, I'm sure I've talked about this before because it was a significant time in my one of those significant events, because I was either pregnant or I just had my first child, and my mom wanted me to go to this Bible study, and I was very much questioning, like, oh my gosh, what is life all about? Like, what if she dies? What if something happens to me? Like, I was really kind of panicked as everybody was religious and I couldn't find what I wanted, but she wanted me to go in this Bible study, and I felt kind of like I was really searching then. So I went in, it was just a few women, and one of them had a really little boy, and he had cancer, and he I think he went into remission a couple times or something, but he would come out of it, and then he got really sick and he was dying in the hospital, and everybody was praying, and they do all the prayer. And, my prayers are kind of different than other people's. And I, during this time when this happened, I was thinking about this a lot, because I knew it in my heart that you can't interfere with somebody's soul journey. So when I would be praying, if this is what this person wants, the little boy, the soul, if this is what he wants, I hope that he can heal. I wish for, or, I pray for his healing and all of that stuff. But if he is here to pass on, I pray for, his, whatever, graceful, whatever it is, peaceful transition. And, so, and everybody's like panicking. He's like 3 years old, or 5 at the oldest, but it seems like he was 3. He was really little. Maybe he got cancer when he was 3 and died when he was 5. Or maybe he got cancer when he was 1 and died when he was 3. But it was really, really little. And it was her first child and stuff. And he died. So he died. And, everybody was so upset. And I never told anybody, because I felt kind of guilty. Like, was I supposed to pray different? But I knew, like, you can't go and interfere with somebody, a soul's journey. You can't go in and say, hey, you're going to do this or you're going to do that. Like, we can have power over them, because we don't, because they have power over themselves. And I think a lot of souls maybe have more than one exit plan, but you definitely have one that you have the final one that you will leave you transition out of. And it may be only for some people that they have like certain exit areas that they want to take. Because I definitely had events happen where, I'm shocked I'm alive. And anyways, so when they were doing all that praying, and it really kept standing out to me, like, I just know we can't interfere like that. We can't, push with our energy into controlling something else. So in this, they were showing all of these people gathering to pray for this guy, and he, didn't want to be alive anymore or something. And to me, that is where you can energetically go in, like as a group, and give that soul support to have the strength to pull itself out of that. But there's a lot of souls that that is their transition point, and we could pray our heads off, and it's not going to change that. And so prayer works. Prayer is real, but it is, like, I think that we think we have so much more control, just like where people think like, oh, manifest, I'll manifest this, I'll manifest that, I'll manifest a mansion, and all this stuff. And that isn't what that is all about either. So I think there's just a lot to this transition for people to really start understanding some of these concepts in a little bit more broader kind of level. Because I think, the prayer is important. I'm not saying prayer and meditation and stuff isn't important, but I just know that we have to accept certain things that we can't interfere with, and that we can energetically, obviously, send out our energy to help people heal. And so, like with Stella, where she's an animal and I'm a human, and I can't necessarily just go in, oh, she's an animal, I'll just heal her. I'm just going to go in and do this Reiki. I'm going to force her to heal because she's not leaving me. She's staying here with me until I'm done with her. And, and I know that's not real life. She's on her own soul mission. And I don't know when that mission ends. Sometimes I feel like she's trying to prepare me. And, but I know that when her mission ends, that it's because she's transitioning to something different, and so am I. And so I try and really appreciate all of this time that we have together. And I certainly hope for my own self that it is forever, especially if we're going into this time period where we don't have to die anymore and we can live as long as we want to. I really hope that she is with me for that, but I mean, there's a lot of things that are just out of our control. And I hear people so much struggling with like, well, if I just did this, if I just did that, I think I can do this and that. And to me, everything is destiny. It's all fated. It's destiny. And you are handed certain situations so that you can see yourself, so that you can grow, so that you can move yourself forward. But it isn't, I got two things that came in my head at once. Because one of them I was just thinking, my mom was only 16 when she had me. And, back in the 60s or whatever, you didn't, it was real embarrassing. People were humiliated. If, nobody's having sex. What? My children don't have sex. You think we're perverts in my house? At the same time in our society, we're also having old men that are marrying, 12-year-olds. So we had the same thing always going. But that was like for a lot of different experiences to come, because all those experiences, no matter how bizarre they seem to any of us, they all have significance for a soul to expand itself and to learn about itself and understand itself. So, anyways, thinking about, I was thinking about this morning, is that, when she didn't get to graduate, and then, she had kids and she lived her whole life, and still, I think she was like 65 or something. It might have been 60. I don't know. It was some, a significant thing happened in her life, and all she wanted to do was get her GED. She was just wanted to get her GED, and she had always felt like, she was stupid, or, something, she didn't complete this, and, therefore that made her not smart enough or whatever. And people will use that stuff against people too. And I was just thinking, that just shows you the power that these people have over us, that they can hold up a piece of paper and say, hey, if you don't have this, you're not worthy. And people will hold on to that their whole lives. Hold on to that their whole lives. Feel like they're not worthy without that damn piece of paper that the government says they're worthy. We got to move out of that. We got to move forward out of that. We got to leave those, those limitations and those toxic paradigms, those toxic ways of being, of the control that they've had over us for so long. And anyways, that was just something that had popped in my head. But what I was saying before that was, what was it? I don't know. It was something. I really do have it feels like there's a traffic jam in my head. Like there's so much information that is all just like slamming into each other, and it's hard to make it out. But Anyways, you know, for, I'll just say again, like for an animal or whatever, like we as humans, like we think that we are dominion over them, like they're a lesser soul than us, but they are a soul nevertheless. No matter how you want to witness it. I mean, people think that spiders and ants are less than them. And, you know, it's consciousness having an experience, and we're all attached because we're all part of the same Christ consciousness that's part of the same solar system that we all are a part of. Oh, and that was another thing too. That was one of the things he was talking about yesterday in that show, was that he started talking stuff about quantum stuff and quantum physics, and some of the stuff that he was talking about was like, oh my gosh, that's what they tell me, man. I'm not a physicist. I don't know some of this shit, but they told me stuff. And then when I see it on a thing, it's like, oh my God, that's what they told me. But he was talking about this expansion that keeps, that they think that there's this expansion happening or something with our solar system. You have to go in and watch it all. But see, it is, all of this is about expansion. It's all about energy. It's all about experience for that energy. This is, this is like a playground. You know, we think that life is so hard because we're in the experience and we are mastering our emotions and deciphering connection to understand who and what we are. But, you know, life is valuable. Experience is valuable. And it is about expansion in our universe expanding. And, you know, the more consciousness that gains, you know, mastery over itself so that it can go out and experience. And I think the more that we move into giving value to life instead of thinking that, you know, life's out to get us, it's out to harm us. Instead, when we approach it in the mindset that is here for us to learn and to experience, and I mean, all sorts of stuff, like have sex, you know, get drunk sometime, you know, all of the things that, you know, you don't want to get hung up on it, but the different things that you can go in and experience in life, you know. And I'm not pushing like go get drunk or something, because I mean, I think it's kind of weird how alcohol is a poison and that the government says, hey, yeah, that's okay. Drink as much as you want. We got rehabs. But, you know, it's part of their direction that they want us to go. They want to keep us in that state of struggle and hopeless, helpless. And, you know, so we rely on them so that we don't figure out who we are. But yeah, you know, alcohol is really poison, and the effects you have on your body when you drink it is because you're poisoned and your body is reacting, and that's why some people can die. So it's really mental when you think about it. I mean, people could smoke weed or do mushrooms or peyote or whatever, all of the natural plant-based medicines that are supposed to help us with our health and expand our consciousness, that you can do those and it's not going to kill you. But alcohol, you know, it will. But, you know, I mean, every experience that a soul can have in a physical reality is there for us. That is what we get to come and appreciate in this form so that we can experience things. So it is a lot of just moving out of this mindset of, you know, I'm trapped and life sucks and I gotta kill myself. Like, I just think, you know, there's a lot of people who think, oh, if you kill yourself, you're going to hell. If you kill yourself, you know, you know, you're marked by God. That you are less than or something. And you know, you can fuck up a lot of stuff if you kill yourself, you know, and take yourself out of the program before you're supposed to. I don't know how it all works, but I think it is way more about the soul gets frustrated, kills themselves, goes the other side, and then is like, oh my God, what did I do? I just had to get through that another day. Everything was about to change tomorrow, you know, and, you know, that's a pretty hard place to be. So I think that is more about what suicide is like. It is that kind of like, oh my God. Then you go through the dark night, only you're on the other side. And it's just like, oh my God, why? Why? Why am I so stupid? Why am I so weak? Because that is what a soul, then you don't have anybody to blame. You don't have anybody coming in to judge you. It's you on you. And you are your hardest critic. I mean, that's part of what you're having to master here, is to not critique yourself like that, to accept yourself and not just judge yourself and be hard on yourself, because that makes you hard on everybody else. And then there's no point to it. I mean, everybody has got valid experiences that they're trying to have to expand their own selves. And, there's a lot of people, I think, who think this stuff sounds crazy. And, I'm sorry, not at that level yet. You can get there if this stuff sounds crazy. I don't know where to tell you to start, but it's probably, start where your guide is guiding you to go, because you have something internally that is guiding you on this journey so that you can expand yourself. So don't get stuck on judgment, and don't get stuck on, if somebody's not jiving with you, if you're just like when they talk and they're just like, you think it's all nonsense and stuff, believe me, you will find somebody at your same level, whatever level that is. And you can go on that journey. This is all about, like, right now, what is all happening too on the planet. And they showed me this a long time ago. I talked about this. It was when they were doing that thing with the marbles, and all the marbles that was the same color are going to the same place. So you will find your tribe. You will find people who you resonate with. And, that is probably how we're going to begin to build up communities and stuff. We're going to find people that we resonate with, that are more from, maybe it's just our soul family, and we're moving into this time where we're going to build communities with our soul families. I'm not sure. I just know that we are transforming this world, and we're transitioning as souls into this new state of being that is going to accelerate us, and it's going to be such a level up that people are going to have such a hard time comprehending. And it is so important for the healing to occur, to move into this state. So yeah, and there's gonna be people, it's gonna be so hard, this waking up to some of the stuff at this point. I mean, nobody thought like this would go on a whole year. I mean, and it seems that the more that they like pull in, they just don't want it to be true. They want to be hopeful, These people seriously are people who, they just want to be with their family and friends. They just, they think of themselves as very smart and well-read, and they think they understand everything that's going on here. And they don't believe in higher powers. They believe in science, and a lot of lessons coming here real quick. So, we're really close, I think, to some really pinnacle kinds of events I think there's a lot happening all over the place. We're just all in our own little, Aaron Brockovich kind of, go in and watch that movie. She shows like the corporations have their little cesspools. We're all in our own little cesspool created by these corporate fools. So, there's a lot of stuff going on all over the place. And, but there's going to be some event, and I think it's coming. I mean, they've got fucking Joe out just rambling like a babbling fool, I think. I mean, he keeps being across the news thing. And, and that fucking Saki, Nimrod, she is, all these people are, I mean, we know Joe is exposing the other Joe, the real Joe. He's exposing him, and he's, making him look a fool. And that's all part of the humiliation, because the guy was so disgusting. So disgusting. Oh my God. It's like, some of these old men, and who knows how old some of these people are, like I've said. I mean, some of these people have done everything they could to not die, I think, because they're scared of what is going to happen. I mean, they've done some shitty things, so of course they want to stay here as long as they can. But time runs out at some point, even for the loftiest of vampires. Time will run out. And so the stake in the heart is definitely coming. We're all going to feel that relief when there's justice. It's going to be very transformative for all of the people awake. So, I think there's just so many people who just got to get out of the idea of being so frustrated and being so mad at these people. We got to release that energy, you know. We could be holding them back with that energy. We're coming at them so strong. We got to release that energy and let theirs come towards us, and they need to release, they need to see what's really happening, and it's being exposed to them hardcore right now. There's like, I know in Spokane, they're closing stuff down. There's people sick. There's stuff not getting delivered. We're getting hit so hard with weather in Washington State, and I know we're not the only state this is happening to. So this is all happening for each and every one of us. And just like in that movie, not everybody has to. That guy died to have his near-death experience. I didn't, but this is a near-death experience for the world, for the planet. So everybody gets that opportunity to wake up and connect with themselves. So anyways, this screen is completely going black. Hopefully, maybe I'm just going to put an audio up this time. It's just a black screen. I don't know. My eyes are just going away, I guess. I laugh about it, but it really is kind of scary, you know. I don't know about Stella as a seeing eye dog. I guess I should have trained her. I didn't know I was going to have this situation happen. I keep on trying to really do all of the healing, go in and meditate and do the healing with my eyes. I've been working on straightening my spine, I think like 5 years, and I really do think it is straighter. I can see like my belly button is lining up more. So, I don't know. I haven't gone in and gotten x-rays of my spine in a long time. So, and I don't want to go. I'm even going to call in I'm supposed to get my teeth cleaned on the 17th, which, oh, happy birthday, by the way. I'm going to go get I'm supposed to go get my teeth cleaned, but then after I got that call yesterday, oh, we're closing this down because this was like, okay, that's it. I'm freaking calling and canceling. Oh, it's way too dangerous to go out. No, I can't. Sorry. Maybe you better talk to the governor. Maybe talk to Joe about it. Some of these people, and they're all they're transforming anyways. I mean, now the doctors here, it's like, oh, it's a phone appointment. Yeah. I think back in the days where doctors came to your actual house to check on you. They actually knew you. They didn't have to have your chart. They freaking knew you. So, we're going to go back to a completely different than what all this bullshit is all ending. And I've seen where there's a lot of doctors, lawyers, and stuff like that speaking out to their fellow cohorts and saying, hey, it is time. You got to start speaking out. You're at risk now. You're at big risk. There's going to be some trials. There's going to be all sorts of stuff. And you better, pull yourself out of this because you're going to have yourself in some trouble. But that's what their soul game experience, There's a lot of experiences going on here. And that's why, it's best just to stay focused on your own. Even when it feels like, oh, I could help them, I could fix them, especially as you heal, you start seeing through the bullshit so clearly. You can see, like I said, it's like people become transparent. You can see right through them. You see what their intent is. You understand them on a completely different level. So it's really trippy. And I think that's why we have to become our authentic self. We can't hide. There will be no mask that will be able to hide us. We will have to be comfortable in our own skin. We have to be comfortable with who we are and love ourselves, because we are going to be showing ourselves on a whole nother level. And I think that is what the light body seems to be about, that it is, you can just see through it, that there's no hiding from things anymore. So anyways, it's, I'm a broken record. Healing and is the way to go. Focusing on your spirit and your connection, and understanding that you are more than what you've been told. And just stay focused on your healing, and just know every soul, no matter how wacky it seems, that there's a method to their madness, and a lot will be shown to us as this more plays out and as things more transform. And if you know in your heart you're here for ascension, you know you're in your heart you're here for the age of Aquarius, then just stay focused on you, stay focused on your healing, and stay focused on what you want for our future. If that is to build up certain types of communities, certain types of farms, certain types of products, certain types of ways that we can get our products, everything's going to be open for us, because this collapse is going to be big. It's going to end all of their toxic bullshit. It's the end of them. So anyways, have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.